Hi, this is Ken Wolf. I'm continuing my review of Fiat of Manhattan, 711 11th Avenue, New York City. So I'm going to talk about how I sent some letters, some emails to Fiat of Manhattan, and I got a response from one of the owners of Fiat, and we set up by email that we would have a phone conversation. And this is what happened at the phone conversation. So I get a call, and he's very nice, very, very personal, very, very nice guy, and I tell him what went down with the bait and switch and the changing of the fake lease payment and all the things that went down in terms of how business was arranged. And each time I mentioned that, he didn't say, oh my God, this is amazing, I'm going to find out if this happened, and if it happened, this is not going to happen anymore. What he did was he defended them and said, well, sometimes they make a mistake when they're doing the numbers. They don't make a mistake when they're sitting there for 20 minutes figuring out the numbers. They don't make any mistakes. And then he said, well, sometimes, financing fees are different for different cars. And I said, no, that's not the case in this case, because we went to somewhere else and we asked about the same exact car and it should have been $295. And you guys were saying that it was $895. So it was fascinating. And then he said, well, if you're still interested in the car, maybe we can do a deal. Like he's going to pay me off, basically. So anyway, I said, well, yeah, I'd be interested, and contact me on Monday, let me know, and la-da-da-da. Monday came around, and I didn't hear from him, so I sent him a letter, and I basically said, obviously you're not interested, obviously you're not supportive of our problems, how we were so abused at your dealership, and you're just sticking up for your people that, all I can do is maybe try to do my very best to make sure that people know that this is the kind of business you do at your facility. So I get an email back saying, oh, well, I hurt my hand and I couldn't call you and la-da-da-da. Come on, you hurt your hand, you couldn't call? Sure, really. And he said, well, and if you're out to destroy my business, well, then I don't want to do a deal with you, so let's just end this relationship here and now, right? Well, and that's fine if you want to do that. So I wrote some more letters back. I never heard back from them, basically saying you need to change the way that you do business. You need to change what's been going on, how you are lying to your customers and putting fake fees and doing all these other crazy things. You need to stop doing that. And of course, I have never gotten a response back. So that came from management. I have more. Okay, I have part 5 coming very soon about some of the other things that went down in terms of the craziness that happens at Fiat of Manhattan. Okay, now my intention here is not to destroy Fiat of Manhattan. My intention is to have them step up and start being honest. Because honesty works in this world and dishonesty doesn't. So that is my intention is, guys, step up and stop lying to your customers. Stop lying. Stop putting fake fees. Stop doing the bait and switch. Stop doing all these crazy things you're doing. It's ridiculous in order to steal money from your customers or trick your customers into signing on the dotted line. So that's my intention here with the videos in terms of car dealer ratings. All this stuff is to get dealers to step up to the plate and stop doing manipulative and lying ways to get more money from their customers. It's BS. What needs to happen is you need to sit down and you make a deal. You talk about it. You work it out, and it's all honest and upfront. And if you can't make the deal, you say, no, I can't make the deal. That's it. It doesn't have to be a 6-hour process. It's the most insane thing, and there doesn't have to be hidden fees, and there doesn't have to be the BS that went down at Fiat of Manhattan. Don't go there. It was horrendous until they clean up their act.